All right, guys, we are here today. All right, so it looks like the market ran a little bit yesterday. I can't tell for sure, but my portfolio is higher than it was yesterday morning. So something must have ran. It looks like Nvidia ran yesterday, and that's good, I guess. Uh, yeah. All right, hold on. Yeah, Nvidia did run. Uh, put the SPY up too, maybe. Here's the SPY. Yeah, SPY broke lifetime highs again. Got up to 536s. So that's nice. Yeah, so again, it's the day before, so we don't really have much going on today, but tomorrow we've got CPI and the FOMC meeting all tomorrow. So, yeah. Very busy week, very busy starting tomorrow. I know yesterday Apex had some trade evade problems. They got those fixed, as well as I believe they got Rhythmic issues fixed as well. But I don't think the Rhythmic issues had anything to do with them. I spoke to somebody, and they basically said that that Rhythmic was down universally, not just with them. And so because everybody couldn't use Rhythmic accounts, they rushed into trade evade accounts, and that caused like a volume spike in trade evade, and that caused the issues there. That's what I heard. And so, you know, yeah. What's up, Mike, Keegan, Jay, David, Marcus, Pawn? What's up, team? Hope you feel better. I mean, I'm feeling fine right now. I'm not sick or anything right now. Do I seem sick? I'm not sick. You know, I'm feeling okay. Yeah, it's been hot here, dude. It's been rainy and hot in the south. In Texas, in southeast Texas, it's been rainy and hot, and you know, rainy, muddy. No, yeah, dude. Well, honestly, I've been sick for the last like six, like the last 3 months. I've been really like sick off and on. But you know, I'm not gonna get sick again. I think Connor or Chandler. I gotta give it to Connor. You know, I think Connor. I think if Connor's smart, he's gonna be drilling takedown defense this whole time. If Connor's smart, he'll be drilling takedowns, uh, stuffing takedowns, um, and I think as long as he drills that really well, it's gonna be hard for Chandler to take him down. And if he does, then he's in trouble. You know. But I can see it go either way. I guess I kind of Connor fights are always exciting. People give him so much crap, but like his fights are fun to watch, man. They're fun to watch. All right, let's see the news today. So, all right, so maybe you got some mold. So we actually just did that. So my wife is actually really sensitive to mold. Uh, you know, honestly, her and I had this talk yesterday, which is that I truly believe that allergies, and you can read these in a lot of like in some biology books. They talk about um, allergies and the human response, and that a lot of them are caused by lack of exposure to those things when you're growing up, right? My house was like a zoo growing up. I had tons of animals. My dad's a falconer, so my dad hunts with hawks, like falcons and hawks. And so we like raised quail, and like we had a bunch of dogs, a bunch of cats, a bunch of quail, I had snakes. Like we had so many animals growing up. And so my house had a lot of mold in it. Because of that, I'm not really allergic to anything that I know of, at least. I'm not really allergic to anything. Cats, dogs, I can freaking sleep next to a cat and dog and get great sleep. My wife, on the other hand, she is allergic to mold, cats, dogs, like all these different things that she didn't have growing up, And so I think I remember my sister would have allergies. My sister was allergic to cats for a little while, and my dad was just kind of like, look, we're not getting rid of the cats. You're just going to have to learn to deal with it. Within a couple years, my sister wasn't allergic to cats anymore. Like that allergy had completely gone away, and now my sister is like an animal person. She like has a lot of dogs and cats and stuff. So yeah. Yeah, so I'm looking at the biggest news stories today. So again, tomorrow we got the Fed meeting. People are speculating that we're going to cut rates. I don't think so. But again, speculation about whether the Fed will cut rates has caused significant market movements. The latest economic data included a mixed May jobs report that has led to a recalibration of expectations. Basically, people are not expecting a rate cut as much as they were. So Apple did have their thing yesterday where they slipped 2% as they unveiled their AI roadmap in its developer conference. It reflects investor skepticism about the immediate impact of new AI initiatives on Apple's financial report or performance. Tesla stock is set to drop as analysts predict that Elon Musk's $56 billion pay package is unlikely to get approved. This has created uncertainty around Tesla's leadership compensation structure and its potential impact on the company's future direction. Fitch Ratings has reported that the U.S. office sector will worsen through the next year with a slower recovery anticipated compared to the post-2008 financial crisis. This prediction is based on higher than expected office loan delinquencies forecast for 2024 and 2025. And indexes were mixed today. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ reached fresh highs yesterday, driven by gains in major tech. However, overall market sentiment remains cautious ahead of economic reports like CPI tomorrow morning and the FOMC tomorrow afternoon. So yeah, that is basically what we got going on today. Nvidia did have a really nice green day. If we zoom out on Nvidia here, Nvidia had a really strong green day. You can see they flew up, got all the way up to 123s yesterday. So this would be a pre-split price of 1,230. So Nvidia is still sitting at 121.60s. SPY is down a little bit this morning though. Again, Apple seemed to have an underwhelming response to their AI conference or their tech conference. Apple down to 192s. Yeah, CrowdStrike getting added to the S&P is big news. That kind of made them gap up yesterday. They held the gains too. They're still at 374s, 375. So they did hold their gains yesterday from that. All right, chat. All right, anything else moving today that you guys are interested in? Spy. So in the strength, short-term positions, if a company has an event, CrowdStrike automatically updates across other companies. What makes CrowdStrike so interesting is that its network improves as new companies add on and share data. Yeah. It really is more difficult to get major volatility pre-FOMC. Thoughts on Tesla? Tesla is interesting. I mean, again, the whole news of the Elon pay package thing is taking, you know, is getting in the front side. All right, so Elon Musk has a $56 billion pay package. The package is one of the largest ever awarded to a CEO. It includes stock options that would vest in 12 tranches contingent upon Tesla meeting certain market caps and operational milestones. The sheer size of the package has drawn significant public and media attention, with debates about whether an executive should be awarded such a large sum. Yeah, but he's the founder of the company. The vesting of the stock options is tied to Tesla's performance, requiring the company to hit specific financial targets and market cap milestones starting from 100 to 650 billion. Critics argue that the targets are too ambitious and potentially unrealistic given the volatility of the automotive and tech sector. There's also concern that the structure may encourage excessive risk-taking. When the package was first proposed in 2018, it was approved by shareholders. However, it has remained a contentious issue. Recently, major shareholders and advisory firms have voiced opposition, stating that the package is excessive and misaligned with shareholder interests. There's a push to reassess and block future payouts under this package. Concerns have been raised about Musk's influence over the board, whether the package was approved with sufficient oversight, questions about corporate ethics and the precedent it sets for executive compensation in other companies. There have been legal challenges to the pay package, with some investors suing Tesla, alleging the board did not exercise proper fiduciary duty in approving such a large compensation package. The controversy has led to tensions between management and some of its institutional investors. The potential rejection or modification of the pay package could impact investor confidence. So yeah, that's basically what's going on with the pay package drama with Tesla. You know, AI is really useful because I can query anything fast. So again, I asked it to divulge more about this pay package drama, and it did. It told me exactly what it was about. What's up, Beach Bum? Yeah, the Fed's going to pause almost certainly. It's almost certainly not going to raise rates. All right, so Apple debuted a couple things during their conference yesterday. A couple things. AI integration. iOS 18 includes numerous AI-powered features such as custom emoji creations based on user descriptions, photo editing through written or spoken commands, and transcription for audio recordings. That's interesting that you can give descriptions and they'll create emojis based off of it. Photo editing through written or spoken commands. Wow. Home screen customization. They can now place icons and widgets anywhere on the home screen, and there's a system-wide control for changing. The Message app now supports RCS, which is Rich Communication Services, improving communications between iPhone and Android users by enabling feature like cross-platform emoji reactions and read receipts. The first major update for the Vision Pro included more native apps and live captions. It also improves Mindfulness app with new tracking features. Mac operating system 15 focused on AI enhancements, leveraging the neural engine in modern Macs. The system settings app received an updated design. Several system apps, including photos, mail, notes, fitness, maps, and calculator, were updated. New password app was introduced to separate iCloud keychain. And so those are some of the debuts yesterday during the Apple conference. Yeah, y'all do me. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button, chat. I appreciate it. Good luck with your trades. I'm waiting to see what data. Musk bought Tesla, made it better. I don't think the institutional investors will not approve. Well, they didn't approve the last one he tried, right? So, I mean, in that context, they might not approve this one either. Ooh, dude, my Home Depot trade is what made me money yesterday. Hey, remember, so I bought Home Depot, chat, just to kind of show you what like a normal swing trade for me looks like. It's not a crazy big swing trade. But remember, I bought Home Depot yesterday, or a couple days ago. I had a very small position. I had like 2 or 3 shares, like a very small position. I'd scaled out of some and left a little piece. I added back, you know, some size. I took 20 shares of Home Depot. When did I do this? So I must have done this like back here. My average price is 325s. So again, I bought it right down here, 325.77. So my average price is right here. So I bought it right here, and we were able to catch this bounce back really nicely here. We made about 140 bucks on it. But yeah, a really good example of like I'm buying stuff that's down a lot. I'll probably take at least half of this position off, you know, soon, at least half of this position off. But again, another really nice swing trade, grinding up profits on the year. Yeah, I have GameStop shares. Let's hope it goes up. GameStop's sitting at 24.55 right now. So again, we'll see. Slightly red on the day. Dipped a little bit yesterday, under 30. All right, so there's 8 a.m. Here, we're going to go ahead and take a piece off of Home Depot. All right, so we just cut our piece. Where did we get filled at just now, dude? Okay, so we got filled. Okay, yeah. We're green on Intel. We did add to Intel yesterday too. Shopify we're now green on as well. Tyson Foods, Tesla, Target, Snapchat. Still very green on all these. All right, we have CPI tomorrow as well, chat. So again, if we look at CPI, we do have CPI tomorrow. CPI is expected at 0.3% for core. Regular CPI expected now at 0.1%. Let me check a different source here. Let me ask AI to see how accurate AI is as well. I'm kind of checking AI. What is base? What is CPI month over month expected at tomorrow? Now let me check a different source. Let's see how accurate they are. All right, so CPI expected at 0.1%. So it is expected to slow. Yeah, so the consensus estimate is CPI. Okay. Now they're saying 0.3%. Is that for core or regular CPI? I am showing 0.1% expected. Yeah, so they're saying 0.3%. I'm showing 0.1% expected. Yeah, Nvidia, did Nvidia really get up to 195 yesterday? No, it couldn't have. Why does it say that? Is that a random rogue order? It says 195s. Okay, why does it say that? That's weird. Look, yeah, never hit 195s. I don't know why it said that, but that's okay. Yeah, so again, I'm showing 0.1% expected month to month. Year to year CPI is expected at 3.4%. See, we are seeing more optimistic signs. I'm seeing core CPI year over year expected at 3.5 versus 3.6. And so I am seeing more optimistic signs for inflation data. I'll trade futures today, Nathan, is what I'll probably do. I'll trade futures. I'm going to try to put in my withdrawal here for Apex. Request payout. Do I need to trade one more time? I might need to. I don't know how many times how many days I've traded. I've traded 11 days. My balance is over 5,300. Why can't I withdraw that? Yeah, so somebody walk me through taking a payout on Apex. Okay, so I have to wait until the 14th, basically, is what it's saying. So there's two parts of the month where you can withdraw, 1 through the 5th, and this makes sense because when they pay me as an affiliate, this is when they pay me, is from the 1st through the 4th or the 5th. So they probably just try to do it this way to get them all out at once. Okay, so they should already have. Yeah, but I've paid, so. So, guys, here's my PA account, guys. So, this is the life of my PA. This specific PA account. Now, I've had a bunch of different ones, right? But I'm just kind of showing you guys the life of this PA account, right? So this is my PA account on Apex, right? So the first day we made $443 in profit. Second day we made $558 in profit. Third day we made $475 in profit. Next day we made $520 in profit. This day we only made about $55. This day we made $178. This day we made $609. This day we lost about $100. That was our first losing day. Second day we made about $98, a little bit under $100 basically. We made about $85 here, and then the last day we made about $30 basically. So you see, I'm starting to trade smaller now that I can get a payout. But yeah. So yeah, I'll take it, you know. And again, if you want to see my actual stats on this account, right? Like, let me show you. Let's see. So this quarter, this month, this quarter. I wish it let me look at the quarter. It says it's too long of a range. I'll take off the last couple days and see if it'll let me do that. No, too long. Okay. Let's try this. There we go. Okay, so yeah. Here's my stats on this account. My accuracy's been pretty solid, like pretty solid. So, yeah. You know, my winning trades versus losing trades could be a little bit better, but that's all right. So again, here's the account. You can see we are at running about 70% accuracy, Here's my graph with fees or without fees. Here's my graph with fees. We're up about 3K on it. Yeah, not too bad. Our net profit is about three grand. Much more winning trades than losing trades, about 70%. That's where I make my money, is high accuracy. So I definitely make my money through high accuracy. Yeah, so I'm reading this thing about Roaring Kitty and about how he's doing this. So again, like, look, here's Roaring Kitty. Like, one of the interesting things about this stream is that he showed people how algorithms worked and how, like, so he knew, I'm pretty sure he knew that him saying, hey, it looks like let's just end the stream now was going to halt GameStop. Now watch. When he says it, as soon as he says, hey, we're going to end the stream now, GameStop stock breaks lows and gets halted, right? So he's showing people how algorithms copy everything he does, right? Like, watch.
End the stream now. Let's end it.
See, boom, stock gets halted. Stock breaks lows and gets halted. So he's showing people how him just saying, hey, I'm going to end the stream influences the stock. Interesting. And again, if you want to check out Apex with me, I think the sale ends today. Although, again, my guess is, like, if I'm being honest, I think the sale ends today. Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, so according to this, it ends in about 16 hours. My guess is they're going to let it run a little bit longer. But if you want to check it out, again, remember, they are a sponsor. Remember, I am terrible and have no idea what I'm talking about. Maybe wildly wrong about anything I say here. This is entertainment purposes only. My experiences, wins or losses may be conducted off stream. I might trade off stream. You're not going to see all my trades. Do not copy me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Understand CFTC 4.41 hypothetical or simulated performance results have limitations and vary from actual accounts in some situations with these funded account programs. Understand all this stuff. They're a sponsor of mine. They pay me money. But if you want to check them out, here is the link. Great way to help support the channel. And a little bit early of a plug, but I was talking about my performance on Apex, and so, you know, might as well plug it. All right, guys. So Hmm. Hmm. You have a lot of idea what you're talking about, seeing your Apex performance. Yeah, but dude, I got yeah, but I've had other accounts, like I've had multiple funded accounts that haven't gone anywhere, and so again, I'm not claiming to be the greatest trader ever. But like if I trade smart and slow, like y'all, people have to understand. Okay, and I try to say this regularly, but I don't need to get funded. Like I really don't. This account that y'all see here has got like $100,000 in it. You know, I do not need to get funded. You know, and you know, I think funded account programs are incredibly useful, but I don't personally need them. You know, they're great. I think they save traders money. They allow traders to get started for less. They allow traders to get started for cheap and test their skill before taking on more risk. I think that's a powerful thing. But again, this account's got 100,000 in it. I don't need to get funded, you know. And it wouldn't make any sense for me to say, hey, I know I already got 100K, but let me spend all my time trying to, you know, it just doesn't make sense. But I think they're great, and I think, you know, they're useful. Dude, one of the most awesome things about the iPad calculator is that now you can use it as a notepad and get real-time answers. So you could write equations out on the iPad notepad or iPad calculator. So you could write out actual equations. Dude, kids are going to use this to cheat so much. Of course kids are going to use this to cheat, man. Like imagine what an age we're in, dude. Imagine having this in school, right? My daughter says kids are already using AI to write. Like my daughter had a kid give her a Valentine's Day letter, and he certainly used AI to write it. All right, chat. All right, let me check the chat here. They deleted my bad trades yesterday. Yeah, so again, yeah, I'm drinking coffee right now. Honestly, I got enough sleep last night. I can always tell when I get enough sleep because I have good dreams. Not good dreams, not like pleasant dreams, but like I dream heavily. Like I dreamed a lot yesterday. But yeah, so Apex did do an update here. They said all Rhythmic fixes have been completed and tested. It's clear for trading. Trade evade issues, they said they've restored 99.8% of the trade evade accounts affected by the disruptions. So everybody's back. Systems should be all go and back trading live today. So that's good news for them. Again, GameStop's still dipping. Look at the SPY come all the way back down to 530s. I wonder if it's time to buy this dip. But yeah, so they did get everything fixed there. Yeah, dude. So Airbnb, bro. Like I'm under like, you know, I'm kind of cheap. I'm not cheap. Let me think of the best way to put this. I'm really not cheap. I will buy my family lots of nice things, and I'm not really super picky about it. I'm only picky about a couple things. One of them is hotels. I'd rather stay in a hotel most of the time than an Airbnb. I just don't trust people, right? Like going to an Airbnb, what's to say these people don't have cameras? Like I rented an Airbnb and I found out after I paid for it now that they've got cameras outside. So it's like, dude, I don't want people watching me on their camera saying, what are they doing? Like spying on me, dude. I don't need that. Honestly, a hotel is going to be much nicer, much easier, cheaper, less stress most of the time, right? And Airbnbs are so expensive. Like I'm getting an Airbnb. I'm not going to say where or when or what, but I'm getting an Airbnb, bro. It is like thousands and thousands of dollars for like a 4-day stay. You know, it's a nice Airbnb and it's a cool place, but still, man, it's just, you know, I think it's so much work. Yeah. People are just weird, man. Hotel has more cameras, bro. Well, I mean, it depends on how you look at it. I'm okay with like hotel is 5 times cheaper. And like I don't know. Every time I've stayed in an Airbnb, it hasn't been bad. Like I've had mostly good experiences. But yeah, I don't know. Go to hotel in certain country in the Far East, cameras in the room, bro. Yeah. Yeah, AI has gotten really good, man. I'm using AI more and more in my regular everyday life. The question is, how do I invest in this technology more? I really do believe in it, but a lot of stuff is just up so much. Nvidia, I'm talking to you. And so I'm in Nvidia right now. I've been in it. I'm up a good amount in it too. But like, what do I do here with these positions? Like, how do I invest more in it? I don't know. I would generally support your opinion that hotels are better than Airbnb. Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're just easier, is what it is for me. For me, they're just easier. And if you get a nice hotel, like an example, I'm going to be going to Vegas sometime this year, right? When I go to Vegas, I'm definitely just getting a really nice hotel. You know, at one of, you know, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm definitely just going to be getting a really nice hotel. I'm not going to be taking, like, it. There's very little that an Airbnb can do for me there. So it depends on where you are. But I think hotels are just easier. People get weird. You know, they want to make money through Airbnb, but some of them are like OCD and just difficult to deal with. Like, you know, owners, they're just difficult to deal with. The problem with Airbnb is the customer service isn't good, right? So like if you rarely you'll run into a problem, but when you do run into a problem, you're SOL. It's tough. Like you're in a rough spot. There's not much you can do for it, you know. And that's the issue with Airbnb. I might short a little bit of this bounce here on the SPY and trade evade. So we might short a little bit here. We're gonna trade micros. So we just bought 2 contracts here short in our funded account. This is our funded account that we're up about 50K in. Or no, I'm sorry, this is our 50K funded account that we're up nicely in. Just a little small trade, get the morning started. You know, again, I'm probably going to attack choppy behavior today, just like yesterday. You know, it's the day before FOMC, day before CPI. I'm assuming we're going to have flat, choppy, neutral, rangy action. And so I'll probably attack that system today again, just because I can. Yeah, I mean, maybe Sam. It just depends on what he does, you know. What kind of AI? What does he do? All right, we're going to take 3 contracts here, take a little bit larger position. And then, I don't think we're going to add any more. We'll probably just stay in this. Not unless we're green. There we go. We'll add more. We're in 4 contracts now. All right, so we got green on it. There we go. Alright, took a little piece off. We're trying to let the rest roll here. We got this range, so we're just looking for us to come back down to the bottom of this range. Yeah, I don't talk to my siblings much either. Or my sibling. Yeah, so we don't have anything going on today. Again, today is Tuesday. ECB's Lane is speaking. I don't know if they're going to say good or bad things. We're flat on this position here. I just use ChatGPT 4.0, OpenAI's website, ChatGPT 4.0. It's the best AI software I could find. Yeah, we're gonna have to cut it. So we just lost about 20 bucks. We'll be all right. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we should cut rates. The only the people, anybody yelling at me to cut rates, I just assume that they are really biased in terms of real estate. Like they just really want, you know, rates to go down. Again, I know a couple people that are struggling, you know, and they pretend they're not online, but I know a couple people that they're struggling. Like they did really well. What happened was that realtors and mortgage brokers thrived in realtors and mortgage brokers thrived in 2020 and 2021 when the Fed did quantitative easing and lowered interest rates down to very low levels. This allowed people to get more lending. And so what happens when the public has more access to good loans, right? They buy more homes, right? And so if you're a real estate agent or specifically a mortgage broker, you know, when interest rates are brought down, you get more business, you know. So I know a lot of mortgage brokers that did really well, made a bunch of money, you know, got themselves in, you know, ironically mortgaged a big expensive house themselves and all this stuff. And then rates changed, and then inflation spiked, and then the Fed started doing quantitative tightening and rate hikes to compensate for the high inflation. And then their business, mortgages went from easily accessible, 2.5-3% loans to now 7-8% not accessible, much more stringent, access to them. And so their business basically shriveled, dried up, and their business hasn't recovered from it. They might pretend and posture and peacock on social media, but a lot of their business hasn't come back. And so they're struggling. And I know they definitely want, and again, I'm a real estate agent myself. I think I am. I have to go check to see if my license is still active. But I know a lot of real estate people and mortgage people, and a lot of them are like this right now. A lot of them are feeling this right now. And so they're the ones that are like, rate cut, we need a rate cut. And I don't think we should do it. I think, again, I don't care about loans or lending or anything like that. I think it's time to keep interest rates high, discourage spending, combat inflation heavily, more so than just, the economy's not showing negative signs. Not really, at least. Like, if you look at non-farm payrolls came out last Friday, right? Payroll numbers showed up way higher than expected, showing economic growth. Unemployment's still at 4%, right? Those are not signs of a struggling economy. What people are really unhappy with, again, is inflation has gone up too much. Inflation has spiked too much. Inflation has made it tough for people, right? And so this has caused a lot of unhappiness, not because of the economy struggling, but because of inflation. And so because of that, let's see which tomorrow CPI inflation data drops. And again, it's expected at 0.1% month to month. And I believe it's a 3.5% year to year. Yeah, so 1.1% month to month, 3.4% year to year. So again, I don't think we should freaking use the coupon code BT, use coupon code BT if you buy the 250K challenge. So you go to the 250K one at checkout. If you use that code, it'll bump it down to about $16 pre-tax, $18 after tax. Okay, well, payroll numbers were twice as high as they were expected, Dub. So again, regardless of which lens you look at it under, the labor market is strong right now. And again, maybe the reason, a lot of people comment on this and they say, well, the reason is because people have to work more because inflation has spiked too much. And that might be true, right? The reason unemployment is low is because people have to work because of the high inflation. That's more of an argument for no rate cuts. That's more of an argument to keep interest rates high and discourage inflation, right? Like, that's another argument to keep interest rates high, not lower them. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to plug other competitors, traders. And that might be true. People might have to work more. But again, those things are arguments for high interest rates, not lower interest rates. If inflation has gotten to a point in which prices have caused people to work 2-3 jobs, what does that mean, chat? Think about it. What does that mean? That means that we can't handle more inflation. It's already struggling now. People got to work multiple jobs to afford things. That means we should keep interest rates high, discourage spending, combat inflation in that regard, not lower rates. I agree, but I'd rather they stop the printer from printing more money. Yes, exactly. Again, that has to do with, what do you think bringing interest rates down is going to do? I understand, CWC. That's exactly my point. I think, listen, guys, I think a lot of you guys, like, y'all know bits and pieces of things, but again, just Yes. Here's the dynamic. I'm not arguing against what anybody's saying. Okay? But this is the way it works. All right? More economic growth causes more inflation problems, right? And less of a need to cut rates. When the economy is strong, and that doesn't mean good, okay? Good doesn't mean good and strong, or they could be synonyms in some situations, but in this case they're not, right? When I say the economy is strong, I mean the labor market is strong and unemployment is relatively low. In those situations, the consequence of that is going to be inflation, right? And so what we see is, if we see a stronger economy, regardless of why, regardless of whether it's part-time jobs, regardless of whether it's people needing to work to afford things, right? Regardless of that truth, it still means a labor market is strong, and the consequence of that behavior is inflation, right? And so if inflation is a risk, the last thing the Federal Reserve should do is start cutting interest rates. What do you guys think cutting interest rates are going to do? It's going to throw a fork in everything and cause it to get worse. Cutting interest rates is going to cause spending to increase. It's going to cause spending to get worse. It's going to cause inflation to potentially spike. If interest rates go down, consumers are going to start spending much more because they can. When lending's cheap, they spend more. And so it's one of those situations where that's what we want to avoid. That's why we want to keep interest rates high. Because if we don't keep interest rates high and spending increases, inflation starts to snowball, and there's a domino effect of it getting worse and worse and worse. And prices have already gone up so much. If you think it's bad now where people have to work 2 or 3 jobs, right? If you think that's bad, imagine if inflation spiked up to almost 10% again. Then what do you think people are going to? People are going to have to work 3 jobs to be able to afford things. That's not a situation that the public wants. And again, that situation is avoided by keeping interest rates high. So I hope that makes sense. All right, so again, we started to short. We lost a little bit more money in futures. We're down. All right, so again, market's pulling back a little bit. Okay, so look, you're wrong, CWC. There's a difference between, there's a difference between government spending and money printing. Okay, so money printing is not completely synonymous with government spending. Okay, there's differences. Right, I understand CWC, but again, you're arguing the wrong way, brother. If you think the public is already working 2 to 3 jobs and prices are so high that people have to work multiple jobs to be able to afford things, your stance should be to keep interest rates higher for longer. Okay, what causes inflation is increased consumer spending and business investments. All right, if you ask AI this, right? If you ask AI, does lower interest rates cause inflation? Right? So if you ask AI this, does lower interest rates cause inflation? Increased borrowing and spending. Consumer spending. Lower interest rates reduces the cost of borrowing for consumers. This typically leads to an increase in consumer loans, such as mortgages and auto loans, boosting consumer spending. Lower interest rate causes more spending and in turn more inflation. You have to understand the logic of it. When businesses can raise prices, they will. And so if you're selling a piece of bubble gum for 25 cents and every day you sell that bubble gum and it's sold out by noon, right? What are you going to do, right? Well, you might refresh inventory or whatever. Eventually, you're going to start raising prices of that bubble gum because you can't, because you're selling out so quickly, right? Businesses all think in that same way. That's business 101, supply and demand. And so in this situation, when you keep interest rates high, what happens is that the public spends less, right? You get less spending. Why? Because they have less access to cheap loans. And so when you have less, when consumers are spending less money on their mortgages, or when consumers are spending more money on mortgages and more money on auto loans and lending in general, they've got less money to spend. Spending slows down. And so when the Fed keeps interest rates high, they're trying to discourage spending. They're trying to keep inflation down. They're trying to combat inflation. If the opposite is true, if spending shows strong signs like payroll data showing up way higher than expected, then what that means is that shows less of a need to cut rates. Because that shows that even with high interest rates, we're still getting heavy spending. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, as long as you agree we need to keep rates higher, that's all I'm saying. Like, everything else is arguable. I'm not disagreeing with anything else. All I'm trying to say is that if you don't like inflation, interest rates should remain high. Yeah, inflation is an inevitable consequence of capitalism. I agree. It's going to happen. Inflation is the normal. And again, this goes back to the original, point I always try to make, which is that if you're not hedging your money against it, you're losing money over time. If you're not investing in gold and the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, if you're not investing in these things long term, you are losing money to inflation. You can hedge your money against inflation in a lot of different ways. Okay, we can look at whether you get a mortgage. Getting a mortgage typically will hedge against inflation, even with high interest rates right now, which is still not necessarily recommended. But gold has 7 or 8x'd over the last 20 years, right? Kept up with inflation. The S&P 500 is about 5 or 6x'd over the last 20 years, kept up with inflation. Real estate has done about the same, right? Real estate will grow at about 5% a year on average in terms of appreciation. And that doesn't include the cash flow that you make from rental properties if you're renting them out as businesses as well. And so whether you get a mortgage or not, getting a mortgage, even buying real estate through mortgages, hedges against inflation. Why? Because let's say you're paying $1,500 a month, right, in a mortgage. Let's say you're paying $1,500 in a month. In 15 or 20 years, you should be getting paid more. That $1,500 is going to be less significant overall because it's going to be cheaper, right? Like $500 in 1980 got a lot farther than $500 today. And so if I bought a house in 1980 and I'm paying $500 a month in a mortgage, today that's going to be pretty cheap, until I pay it off. And the house should appreciate to compensate for it. And so there's a lot of ways to hedge against inflation. But if you're not doing it, you're losing money, especially if people are sitting on cash. This is the biggest mistake people make, is that people sit on cash and they get so skeptical of the system that they don't invest their money and they just kind of sit on cash. And that is the worst decision ever. Like, even if you don't trust the government, buy freaking gold. You can literally buy physical gold, buy a bunch of gold, put it in a safe, and you're going to hedge against inflation. That's the safest way to do it. Gold has been incredibly consistent long term in terms of appreciation. And so there's a lot of ways to do it. You could buy government bonds, guaranteed returns. You could buy, we go over this a lot, but again, say you buy $100,000 in a 10-year treasury bond right now. A 10-year treasury bond is paying out, what? What is it? I think it's, so 10-year treasury bond is paying out about 4.46% right now, 4.46. And so, so you're paying out about 4.46. So hold on, let me see. 100K. We can use compounding, but I don't think we need to. I don't know if there's compounding. I don't think people are going to be adding to it. But okay, so say you buy this, right? You're going to make $4,600 a year if you buy $100,000 worth of 10-year treasury bonds. And this is guaranteed by the U.S. government, so you're going to get it back, right? Every year they're going to give you interest payments totaling to about $4,600 a year, right? You're going to make about $4,600 a year over a 10-year period if it's a 10-year treasury bond. So times 10, you're going to make about 46 grand off of a 100 grand investment. That's about a 46% return. And so that will keep up with inflation to a certain extent. It's nothing like the S&P 500, right? Where you got 100,000, you buy, really it's time. So every year you're going to make about 10%. So 100K after the first year is going to turn into 110, 121 with compounding, 133, 146, 161, 77, 94 plus. So you've made over 100% within 10 years. Of that. So it's much better historical gains are in the S&P or the NASDAQ or the Dow or whatever your broad market index fund you want to play with. But just invest in something, hedging in something. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm top 3 worst trader investors of all time ever, but hedge your money. If you don't, you're missing out on the biggest statistical edge the market gives you, and you're also losing money to inflation over time. Yeah, all good, CWC. I can always tell people can disagree with me. It's all good. Like, the only people I ever really ban are people that are disrespectful. Like, I just kind of know there's certain people who are obviously getting banned, creating new accounts, getting banned again, and they're obviously the same person. Most of the time, they're just kind of sitting around waiting to disagree. Something just made them go off the wrong path in life. But I digress back to my point. My point is, as long as you're respectful about it, and you can disagree and you're not going to get banned here. The only people that are going to get banned are people that only disagree and they never participate in anything else, and they're only just, The real question is, how much money should you risk? I think it varies. Each person has a different risk tolerance. It depends on how much you have. It's all relative to what your bankroll looks like. Most people say 20% in the S&P. I like 20-20-10 rule, but everybody's different. Yeah, Broadcom is going crazy. Do we have any earnings today? I know we had some. I thought we had like Cisco, I want to say. Okay, so this evening we've got Oracle, Autodesk. Affirmed. Broadcom is tomorrow evening. And that's just going to add to more volatility because, again, tomorrow we got CPI inflation. We've got the Fed decision. Yeah, everybody's watching AMC, GameStop. Why do we have so many Fed decisions? Laugh out loud. I mean, this is the nature of economics. The Fed does it at a periodic, like every 6 weeks. So we have 8 Fed meetings a year. It's every 6 weeks. Hi, John. Have take a profit of your Nvidia? No, not yet. I'm still in it. I'll probably stay in it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can take profit, but yeah. So I'm watching this other video. All right, chat. So 20-20-10 rule for me is I take 50% of what I make, and I take 50% of what I make and I pay bills with it, and I also spend whatever I want to spend on other stuff outside of investments. I take the other 50% of what I make, and I try to stick 20% of it in individual companies that I handpick. So 20% of it in individual companies that I handpick, 20% of it in index funds, and 10%, 20%. Okay, so 20% in individual stocks, 20% in index funds and real estate, and then 10% in other investments like cryptocurrencies, bonds, stuff like that. Like, that's how I try to do it. But everybody's different. Everybody's different, and you just got to figure out what your risk tolerance is for that type of stuff. So basically I'm paying bills and living off of 50%, and then the other 50% I'm doing other stuff with. But it depends on what I got going on at any moment in time. Like, it depends on what's going on. Like, sometimes I'm taking most of my money and I'm sticking it away. So it just depends. What do you think of Intel? Yeah, so again, honestly, one of my better trades was Home Depot, dude. I bought Home Depot a couple, like, not that long ago, and made really nice gains after yesterday's rip. Do you have solar panels? No, I'm not a big believer in solar panels, Jay. I again, there are some aspects of it that I don't know for sure, but I think that I don't know, man. I think that the reason I don't want to invest in solar panels, there's a few reasons. The main one is that most people are going to have to finance them. And so the net gain that you get from having solar panels, I just don't think it's worth it. The other problem is that I think that technology advancement is the thing that people miss about solar panels. Like, do you know how much solar panel technology is going to get better over the next 20 years? You know, so I don't think strapping $15,000+ to my roof and then whenever we get advancements having to take those down and add more, I think it's going to be a never-ending like game of keep up with technology. And so I don't know. The other question is, how long will it take the electricity to actually benefit and have a net profit from the solar panels? Like if I spend $15,000 on solar panels, my house, I'd probably have to spend more than that. How long is it going to take me to make that back in saved costs? And again, like I said, there's part of it I don't understand. I think some of those markets are predatory. I think people go door to door. They buy the solar panels wholesale. They go door to door and they talk people into financing them from them. And so the people end up paying more money than they would have been paying beforehand because they're now financing the solar panels and they're just using it as kind of like this. I don't know. I don't know. I'm skeptical, I guess. Yeah. Any insight into CRM, Super Micro? I'm in CRM. I'm not in Super Micro. I'm green in CRM. But I bought CRM after the dip on earnings and rode the bounce back, and that worked really well. But I'm mostly out of it now. I'm holding a very small position now in CRM, so I'm holding a small piece. Yeah, I feel you, Jay. I appreciate it. That's good advice. GameStop up. It went green for a split second. It's now dipping down some. Where's crypto? I haven't even looked at Bitcoin. I know I looked at it last week and it was starting to run and go crazy. Yeah, it hit 70 plus. It's dipped down though. It's at 67s now. All right, did we do a poll here? Yeah, Bal, stop spamming, bro. Why are you saying the same thing over and over and over again? Alright, so let's do a poll. Does CPI come in higher or lower than the 3.4% expected year over year tomorrow? Higher, lower. I don't know. Not. See results. Alright. The CPI come in higher or lower? Chat. Vote on that poll. Let me know how you feel. Yeah, well, Rhythmic has been having problems. They say they're better, though. Let me try out Rhythmic. I haven't tried them out yet. I haven't tried out Rhythmic yet. I'll try them out now, though. Yeah, I'm trying out Rhythmic now. We'll see. CPI is tomorrow. The Fed meeting is tomorrow as well. All right, so Rhythmic. Let's try. Market data connection. Yeah, I'm having a hard time logging into Rhythmic. Can y'all log into Rhythmic right now, or is it down for you all as well? I'm showing a market data connection login. All right, so it's allowing you guys to log in. I can't log into Rhythmic also. Yeah, I'm excited. My daughter and I are watching season 1 of House of the Dragon with my wife, daughter, and I. So we're all watching it. Some people didn't like House of Dragon. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. You know. Where's my phone? Oh, there it is. All right. Yeah, it's not letting me log into. Whoa. Press something. All right, guys. So okay. Here we go. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm running server, back, server. Can y'all not hear the music? It says market data connection. Please contact. Let me make sure I have. Yeah, I should have Rhythmic accounts. Yeah. Weird. Yeah, I'm trying to see what's up with this. Yeah, it should work. I mean, I'm trying to reset the password and stuff, but yeah, it could be an update related. Try this. All right, so again, GameStop's still sitting right over the 200 EMA volume weighted average price. There's a SPY bouncing here. Yeah. Yeah, I know there's a way I can update here. Let me see if I can. Like sometimes it'll like force me to update. Let me try that. Alright, let's try this new download. Alright, we're trying to update into the new version of Quant Tower. Maybe that's what it is. Look at the SPY bounce back though. So SPY moving up a little bit. GameStop at 24s. Nvidia 121.49. SPY all the way up to 534. Still red on the day. You can see the you know, we are down a little bit on the day. But oh, is my okay, is it? Yeah, so is that what it is? Do I just need the newest version of Quant Tower? All right, so we're launching it now. We'll see if that works. Is crypto crashing? Yeah, again, I'm going to attack choppy behavior today. Bitcoin down to 67,000. I'm going to attack sideways choppy neutral behavior. That's what I've done a lot, and it works really, really well for me. I can't guarantee it's going to work for you, but yeah. Yeah, y'all hit that live button, hit the play button. I appreciate it. Did I put it in? Okay, good. Let's see if Nvidia rises some more. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to pull up Rhythmic. Like, it said it was going to launch it, and then it just didn't. Quant Tower. Yeah, it said it was going to launch it and then just didn't. And I'm trying to do it again. I hope it doesn't give me too much glitches, though. Yeah, so Jay, when does it allow you to ask for a withdrawal? Isn't it on the 16th or the 15th? So I'm going to have to wait then in a couple days. All right, here we're back on Rhythmic. We're trying to log in again. All right, we got about 500 people here, chat. Hit that like button. Hit the notification bell. I appreciate it. Okay, so yeah, now my Rhythmic account worked. I just had to update it. So we're back. It's working now. It's the 15th. Okay, thank you. Bitcoin never moved in a straight line. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin is down. Nvidia's flat. Here's Bitcoin futures. They're down. They popped up a little bit. Yeah, so now we're connected to Quant Tower, so that's good. Let's pull this up. Yeah, we got a bunch of accounts that we have to activate here. I guess I'll activate them since we have them. Okay, that one's fresh. Fresh. Nice. Okay, so we have to activate. I'm gonna go ahead and activate this one. This one is. Let me go ahead. Yeah, so there's 2 of them I need to activate. Alright, so let's go ahead and sign this. Alright, so sorry, I'm reading these rules. I already read these rules, but they've added a lot more rules. Let's sign this. Alright, so we're gonna get ready to start trading here. That's why I'm signing some of these. Because I've already I just gotta pay for it now. So let me get this straight, right? So the lifetime only applies to that account, right? So like, say I lose that, say I pay for the lifetime activation fee, right? That's only per account, right? So if I get funded on another account, the lifetime fee doesn't allow me to skip payment for activation on that one. I'm pretty sure, right? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Okay. All right, so we just activated one. Let's go ahead and activate our other one here. We got stuff. All right, look at GameStop still flat. Again, there's the SPY. I'm going to put Nvidia up just because Nvidia is one of the bigger stories. Look at Nvidia come down. This is almost certainly going to drag the SPY down too. So look at Nvidia fall. It's at 121s. Again, it's probably going to drag the SPY down with it. Okay. Per account. Yeah, that's what I figured. I thought it was that. Okay. Okay. Monthly. Now let's go ahead and activate this one too. All right, so we activated both of these. One of them is Trade of 8. One of them is a Rhythmic. Do you have any idea about CPI data? I really don't know what CPI is going to show up as. I genuinely don't know. I hope it's low, and I'm going to bet that it's low. But again, it's going to depend. So this will be a big decision. It's not going to influence, like CPI data tomorrow is not going to influence. Is almost certainly not going to influence the FOMC decision later on tomorrow morning. The FOMC decision is probably a bigger story than CPI, although CPI is relevant for rate decisions. The worse inflation is, the less likely the Fed is to cut rates and vice versa. And so we'll see what that looks like. Again, we're almost certainly not going to cut rates. We're almost certainly not going to cut rates. And we have traded a little bit on our Trade of 8 account. You can kind of see this. We are... yeah, you can also see we are down about $64 on the day, about 64 bucks. Again, we'll see what that looks like, but we'll probably start trading a little bit more. I will short the NASDAQ here again, I'm looking to attack choppy behavior. So we're short. Again, this is futures trading, so we are day trading futures. We'll put this up, GameStop and Nvidia. So we are day trading futures right now. And then we should also be on Rhythmic. So have the Rhythmic issues been fixed? I heard they're fixed. All right, so we'll add another 2 contracts here. Fix our average, and then that's going to be the only add to avoid the DCA rule. Yeah, I like 50K accounts, probably the most. All right, so we got 4 contracts here. We're short. Again, I'm looking to attack ranges. You know, so here's my entry down here. I'm just looking to attack ranges. We've been in this upward trend for a minute, though, so we'll see if this trend holds or what. Do they really have to have a 3-hour meeting just to say yes or no on raising or lowering interest rates? Well, it's not just a meeting on that. They're updating their economic outlook is what the Fed meetings are. So every time the Fed does these meetings, again, they're updating their economic outlook. So they're telling you where the economy is, what's the plan for future meetings and stuff like that, right? Like that's what they're doing. It's not just a rate decision. You know, a rate decision is pretty easy. Just, hey, we're doing this. The rate decision actually goes live at 2 p.m. But again, no matter what, people are going to complain, right? Like if they just came out and said, hey, we're pausing interest rates, boom, and they never said anything else, right? What do you think the people would say? The people would say, oh, they're not giving us any explanation. Why are they just not giving us an explanation? They're just saying what they're doing and then they're leaving. How dare the Fed? They don't want to work at all, they say, or something like that, right? Listen, this is how it goes. And you know, now that they're doing these meetings, people are saying, why are they even doing the meetings? Why do they have to do it for a simple rate decision? Again, it's an economic update. They're updating the economy outlook. All right, so we are losing here on this trade so far. I'm going to cut half of it, even though we did just kind of come all the way back down. Very quick drop. Yeah, the more important thing is the talk, for sure. The talk is going to be more than everything else, right? What I mean by that is, like, we're almost certainly going to pause interest rate hikes or pause rates. We're almost certainly not going to cut or raise rates tomorrow. Everybody already knows this. Everybody already knows we're not going to cut or raise rates for the most part. Now, it could happen. Highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. And so with that, right, what the big eyes are going to be on is going to be what Jerome Powell says. What Jerome Powell says tomorrow is going to be highly influential over the markets, over the economy, because he's going to give some foresight into what happens moving forward this year, how much we're going to cut rates, when we're going to cut rates, all that good stuff, what inflation looks like, what the labor market looks like. He's going to detail all of these things in the Fed talk. And so that's what you want to keep your eyes on. Yeah, we're just going to get out here. We're down about $100. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, but what do you define as a real job? You know, Powell was an investment banker for years. Yeah, you can use Quant Tower. That's what I'm using on. What do we expect Powell to say tomorrow? I expect him to say inflation is elevated, although it shows moderate signs of improvement. The Fed remains attentive to these goals, and we're going to take a data-dependent approach. The labor market remains strong. Inflation remains elevated. You know, that's what I expect him to say, those things almost certainly. You know, outside of that, I have no idea what he's going to say. forgot sticky. They don't like to use sticky. They prefer to use. We remain attentive to these goals, and because of that, we have decided to keep interest rates at these levels. You know, we don't know what we're gonna do. We'll take a data-dependent approach, and yeah, they almost always say the same thing in that regard. But yeah, all right, guys. So we are hanging out here. Yeah, it looks like Apex got all their stuff up, so that's nice. All right, chat. Anything else that looks good? I mean, we're hanging out here. Yes, we're consolidating at the top. Part of me wants to short. I kind of keep falling for this back and forth. But I do think we're going to turn. And so I'm getting a little stubborn. And I don't mind losing, you know, 150 bucks or whatever it is today. What's your opinion on using prop firm payouts to fund your own personal? I mean, I think for new traders, it's the move to make. You know, I think most new traders are going to lose money. And so risking thousands of dollars trying to look cool is dumb. And not dumb, I did it, right? But because of that, now I look back and I think of how dumb I was. And so I think new traders should limit their risk and understand they're probably going to lose. Once you accept that truth, it becomes a lot easier to save money in the beginning. Instead of risking thousands of dollars, lower your risk, try a funded account program. And then once you're good enough at that, like what the funded account program does is they give you a demo, they test your skill. If you pass the test with the demo, they fund you, you know, the same amount on Apex. The base one's 25K. If you pass it, you get 25K in funding. If you lose it, what you pay monthly for that is like 25 bucks right now. So if you lose it, you're out 25 bucks. And again, the good one is like 250K right now. If you pass it, it's only $18 a month right now, or $18 for the first month. If you pass it, you get 250K in funding with a 90% split. And so I think it's really useful because you can get started for less. Your risk is less. But if you are good enough to take a payout, you can then fund your own account with it, right? So say you take 50K out of them, you can then fund your own money, and you don't need Apex after that. And again, that's what they're for, is to limit your risk doing so. But again, I always try to tell people I'm biased because they pay me money. You know, they pay me money. I'm biased. They're a sponsor of mine. But I do think it's a useful thing, and I think traders not doing it, you know, I think is a risky thing. You know, I think most traders are going to lose money. Everybody thinks they're going to be that outlier, that different trader who just, you know, does it. All right, so we got out. We scalped a little gain there. Everybody thinks they're going to be that trader, that outlier, that savant prodigy trader that just gets rich. I'm here to tell you, you're probably not. You know, you think you are, you're probably not. And so be smart. Limit your risk in the beginning. Don't get your pride in the way. Well, it's futures, right? The futures market, you can basically, like, what you see me trading here is the QQQ price action. It's the same price action as the Q. The Q tracks the NASDAQ 100 futures contract. This is the NASDAQ 100. This is the micro NASDAQ 100 futures contract. The regular one would be NQM4 here. So this is the regular. So this is basically what the Q tracks. This is, and I can day trade it. Patterns are very similar to stock patterns in futures. I can do the same thing on the S&P 500, right? What the SPY tracks is the S&P 500 futures contract. It's called the E-mini. So ESM4 is the symbol. This is it right here. So you can trade that as well in futures, no PDT rule. That's everybody, bro. Everybody thinks they're going to be some savant prodigy trader that's going to prove everybody wrong and show their family, who's probably telling you the truth, which is don't do it. Everybody thinks they're going to prove them wrong, and they're going to just be like, look how smart I am. I've earned $5,000 a month trading stocks. And their family's going to be like, ooh, genius stock trader over here. Everybody has that dream in the beginning, you know. Eventually, you recognize how difficult it is and how unrealistic that is, especially for a new trader. Almost all new traders are just about to lose, and that's the reality of it. Yeah. Pride is a massive entry issue, honestly. Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know. I think it's better, like, you have to look at it objectively. I think the way to make money on a prop firm, and again, this is coming from somebody like, I don't claim to be profitable. I don't claim to be an expert. I'm not a guru. I don't claim anything here. Not an investment professional. Top 3 worst trader of all time ever. But, you know, I think the way to trade is to get funded, and you got to take risk to get funded. But once you're funded, limit that risk. Scale down massively once you're funded, right? That is the only way to do it. Because if you keep trying to trade the same way like you got funded, you're probably about to just lose the account. And so just be smart, you know, trade small. Money over time is safer than big money in a short amount of time. Yeah, that's how it goes. Fusion or whatever. Yeah, I think taking too large of risk is too much, Tony. Again, here's the reality of it. Okay, here's the truth. If you try to make ridiculous percentage gains daily, you're eventually going to, like, you might get away with it. And again, I've said this many times and I'll say it again. Taking crazy big size in the beginning, you might get away with it at first, right? You can, if I take any trade right now, like say I buy the E-mini here. This is one of the reasons Apex has their DCA rule. Say I just start adding to the E-mini here. And then say it keeps dropping, I add more. It keeps dropping, I add more. It keeps dropping, I add more, right? The likelihood that I'm going to make money in this type of system is very, very high. Is very, very high. The likelihood that I'm going to make money in the system, right, is very, very high. And so you might think, oh, well, why don't you just keep on adding to losses, right? You might think that's a good move. The problem is that while you might make money a large majority of the time doing it, it's the same thing if you know what a martingale roulette system is, right? The martingale does not work. The martingale roulette system, it does not work, because I can keep adding to this system and it's going to work a large majority of the time. And a lot of traders are doing this to where they think they've got some super profitable system that nobody's figured out yet. That's not true. Okay. The problem is that, you know, say it keeps dropping, you know, it keeps dropping, it bounces, you make money, right? Eventually that's not going to happen. Eventually it's going to keep on going down like this, right? And when that happens, your entire account is gone. Everything is gone, right? It compensates plus for the times that it works. You know, same reason with the martingale roulette strategy, where basically it just says, the martingale says, if you play roulette, you just double your size every bet until you win, right? So you bet $10, you lose, you bet 20, you lose, you bet 40, you lose, you bet 80, you lose, you bet 160, you lose, so forth and so on, right? And so in that regard, you'd have to lose 6+ times in a row to actually lose. And so some people are going to say, oh, well, you're never going to lose 6 times in a row. Yes, you are. And when you do, you're going to lose everything you have. You know, that is the nature of risk in trading. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. And that's where you get people that sit there and they're like, yeah, I make 5K a week. You know, I feel like we have this conversation every day, but it's important. It's an important conversation to have for traders, because a lot of traders do not have reasonable expectations for it. But this is where you get people that are like, yo, I make 20K a month. It's like, do you make 20K a month, or did you make 20K 1 month doing this? You know, and now you think you've got some super secret system that nobody ever heard about. I promise you, a lot of them are just doing this, right? A lot of the guys selling you courses on how to get rich and flashing big crazy gains at you, a lot of them are doing this, you know, and then they just haven't hit that big loss yet that's going to wipe them out, right? And then when they do hit that big loss that wipes them out, what do they say? They say, oh, I made a mistake, guys. You know, I made a mistake. You know, I just had a bad risk day. It's like, no, that's your freaking system. You know, that's your system. That's your system playing out. That's what it is. So yeah, for sure. You don't sound Louisiana born? Yeah. I'm from Louisiana. I've lived in Texas for 10 years. I've also run a live stream for 10 years. And so I think over time, my accent probably goes away. It kicks back up. If I talk to somebody from Louisiana, it'll show back up again. It just depends on who I'm talking to, you know. I'm also like an hour away from New Orleans, right? So if you don't know Louisiana, New Orleans has a different accent. It's more of like almost like a city accent. And so, yeah, it depends on where you're from. You know, like a Lafayette accent versus somebody from New Orleans is going to have a much different accent. Similar but different. And so you probably can't hear my Louisiana accent very much, just because I've lived away from there for so long. I don't know. Let me see. In Louisiana, I don't know. Right now it's about 76 degrees here in Houston. Baton Rouge is about 77. All right, guys. Market's still dropping. Nvidia is still flat. Again, I'm going to bet on choppiness today. Yeah, Michigan's cold. For sure. Everybody DCA. I'm in SoFi right now. I'm not DCAing into it, though. I don't trust it enough to DCA it. And no offense to it. It's been downtrending for too long. Chop, chop, chop a star. All right, guys. Airbnb at 147. I'm in it right now. I was talking smack about Airbnb earlier, but I'm still in it. Yeah, it just depends. I'm in Houston, Texas, and so I've lived here for a decade plus. And so I'm sure my accent's kind of gone. It depends on who I'm talking to. When I go to Baton Rouge and I talk to people from my home city, then the accent starts back up again. It just depends on who I'm talking to be honest. But again, I'm going to bet choppy behavior today on markets. I'm going to look for sideways neutral action. Today is the day before CPI and FOMC. So we got a lot of stuff. Going on. I've never used TTP, but Mitch was on my stream last Friday. I think it was last Friday. It might have been the Friday before that. But he is like a big TTP pool or trade the pool guy, and it seems like they're really cool, really useful. Again, I've never actually used them myself, but they seem pretty cool. I know Mitch is on their stream all the time. Martingale can. Hey, thank you, Darren, for the donation, brother. I appreciate it. He said Martingale can lose your account, but the days where it works for you, it can make a ton of money. Well, sure. Like, again, that's what's so misleading about it. Again, right? Like, let me explain it again. I can keep adding here. So I can keep shorting this, right? So I could short it here if it keeps dropping. I could short it here again if it keeps dropping. I could short it here again if it keeps dropping. I could short it here again. And so on the days when it goes like this, when I add here and it goes like that, I'm gonna make a lot of money. I'm gonna make money most of the time doing this. Most of the time, I'm gonna make money, right? The problem is that eventually I'm not. Eventually it's going to keep going down. And so that's what's so tricky about it. That's why you get a lot of these gurus, like these little 20-year-olds with braces trying to act like market experts. This is what they're doing. And then they have big gains, and then they say, oh man, look at me. I am a trading savant. I got this, man. And they start just, selling courses and mentorships and all this nonsense about it. Again, they just haven't hit their big loss yet. And eventually it's going to come. And when it comes, it's going to wipe everything out. And then they're going to pretend like it's some bad day that just occurred. That's why most people selling courses on day trading eventually pivot to just, selling courses instead of trading, There's a very famous one. I just like teaching. No, you got your butt kicked day trading, so you stopped wasting your money doing it. All right, guys, we got about an hour left until the market opens. I'm going to play a little bit more on, yeah. All right, so here's a 50. All right, so again, this is a 50K challenge account. We're just going to see if we can get funded because I have it. All right, so we got to make 3K in profit here. This is a 50K funded account here at the bottom. Let me make sure I don't accidentally. I'm getting ready to take a withdrawal on the other one, so I don't want to give it all back. Let's try out Rhythmic, though. All right, so we're short 3 contracts here. I'm looking to attack choppy behavior. All right, so we got 8 contracts now. Took a little bit off. We'll look to add back. Hey, what's up, Kimberly? Yeah, we're gonna add to this. We're gonna keep adding to this. Take our risk here, looking for choppiness to play out. Do you know Relentless? Yeah, he's a friend of the channel, or at least he used to be. I haven't talked to him in a while, but he used to show up here and hang out. Good content, good channel. I'm not much of a penny stock trader personally, though, but everybody's different. I can't knock it. Abercrombie and Fitch has got to be one of the most ridiculous, manipulative stock moves I've seen in a while. Because again, Abercrombie and Fitch is obviously a failing company. Nobody's ever in there. I don't understand how A&F continues to go up with no increase in revenue over the last 10 years. Their revenue has stayed the same. What does their channel start with? Oh, I just like teaching millionaire students. Watch me build schools overseas. I don't trade anymore. I just like teaching. You know, come on. Get out of here, bro. There's nothing good about them. Anytime you go to Abercrombie and Fitch, the store is freaking empty. Yet somehow they're up like crazy, ridiculous percentages with stagnant revenue. You know, Abercrombie and Fitch is up from $24. They're up hundreds and hundreds of percent. If you look at their revenue, again, I'm not saying short it. I have no idea. And I think they came in under expected too. Here's Abercrombie and Fitch's revenue. Their revenue has been flat for a decade straight. That's Abercrombie and Fitch's revenue. You know? They haven't moved. And so why are they up? They have better margins, but yeah, honestly, TV, that probably boosts their revenue massively. Yeah, dude, honestly, listen. Y'all are preaching to the choir. I grew up in Abercrombie and Fitch days. I grew up in the early 2000s. I was a teenager in the early 2000s. And so, listen, I know. All right, look, we're gonna have to cut this and get out and make another attempt at this because we yeah. All right, we're gonna short it here again. And if we lose this account, it's all good. Like I said, this is not a real account. This is a challenge account. I'm sure we're gonna have some haters show up and being like, "Look at this guy." Now that I'm in a challenge account trying to mock it, even though I'm just kind of shorting into ranges. If I lose it, I'm down $20, and so y'all have to understand the risk I'm really taking. Yeah, dude. Again, you go into Abercrombie. And you got techno music, you got, you know, sometimes there's a guy with no shirt on sitting in the front, and it's like, you go in, smells like cologne, you know, they got like a moose somewhere. Thus is life in the early 2000s. Everybody wore it, bro. Listen, I wore what I thought the ladies liked. All right, so there we go. I just lost this account. It's okay. It's okay. It's a $50,000 account. I'm looking to attack choppiness. And so it's not the end of the world. We'll be all right. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so again, I just wore what the girls liked. You know, and again, people might mock me for wearing preppy clothes in the early 2000s. I'm here to tell you everybody did. Everybody wore preppy clothes for the most part in the early 2000s. And I get it. Some people are going to mock that, and that's okay. What I'll say, though, is that I just wore what the ladies liked. If the ladies like pink bunny suits, I'm going to show up in a pink bunny suit like, what's up? You know, that's how it went. That's how everybody was. You know, that was the nature of the early 2000s. I never really got emo. Like, I was never really an emo kid with, like, my hair was too curly to do an emo haircut. I had friends that were emo friends, though. You know, I did have emo friends. Some of them were emo. Most of them weren't. I was a skateboarder. So, you know, I dressed like preppy gangster skateboarder-ish. Right. Yeah. Yeah, Abercrombie and Fitch. Honestly, there was a good documentary about Abercrombie and Fitch about like the old culture they used to have. It was Abercrombie and Fitch, American Eagle, and Hollister were the big three. Everybody had them. Everybody wore them. Trends change. This is one of the reasons I won't invest in fashion companies. It's because trends change too fast, man. They're just changing too quickly. Like, I don't want to get stuck investing in the next Abercrombie. Even though Abercrombie might not be the best example, being up ridiculously large percentages. Yeah, basically Ryan Sheckler style. That's basically me in the early 2000s. You know, I had the curly hair. I had the diamond earrings, you know, the curly hair, the preppy shirt, and the skate shoes. That was my style in the early 2000s. I got a picture. I've shown people this picture a lot before. Again, I can kind of make fun of myself. We all had those stages, you know. We all had those stages in life. Let me find it. Here it is. I've shown this picture a couple times before. But this was me in the early 2000s. This was actually probably like 05, 06, 2005, 2006. You know? No, I didn't have Sperry's. I wear Sperry's now just because they're comfortable and I can wear them anywhere. You know, so I can wear Sperry's now. Wait. So yeah, I can wear Sperry's now, but back then I wore like Etnies, DC's, stuff like that, right? So I wasn't that preppy. Again, I was kind of skateboard preppy. So the SPY's testing the top of the range here. Damn, bro, it doesn't even look like him. Honestly, dude, I'm telling you. Listen, I was young. I had no beard is what it is. You know? I didn't have a beard, and then this picture, my lips are kind of tucked in, so... You know, but again, I was like 120 pounds, you know, super skinny. I was naturally skinny, you know, I'm lanky and skinny. But as I got older, I gained some weight. But yeah, I was probably like 17, 18 in this picture, you know. Supras? Toyota Supras? I love me a Toyota Supra, bro. Listen, I grew up in the Fast and Furious age, where everybody was in the... I always wanted a 300Z twin turbo. Never got it. And they're a little obsolete now, but... All right, guys. SPY started to move up. Let's see if it rejects this level here. Hair looks a lot lighter. No, y'all just don't see it in the light. Like, look. So my hair's a lot lighter, again, than most people in here realize. Like, with the lights on, again, my hair's a lot lighter. It's curly. I have curly hair. If it's short, you can't really tell. But my hair's a lot lighter than people realize. Y'all just see it in the dark, you know. My hair was blonde as a baby. If you look at these, like, look. This is me. This is me. I don't know. I must have been like 2, 3. You know. Look at this 90s shirt, bro. Look at this shirt right here. What a 90s shirt. All right, anyways. Good old days. What stocks do you like to swing trade? Blue chip stocks mostly. I like blue chip stocks. I'm not a big I'm not a big penny stock trader. I would rather buy up a blue chip healthy company and then sit on it. And the odds are stacked in my favor in that regard because I can sit on it and most of the time it's going to come back and like bounce back. Apple had their press conference, their WWDC, I think is what it was called, yesterday, where they debuted some stuff. But as always with these press conferences, people were not super impressed by them. I would say most tech stocks actually go down from their press conferences. No Supras, the shoes? No, I never had any of them. Yeah, I mean, pennies just have very little edge, I think. They're very difficult to make money in penny stocks. Yeah, it's been a little slow for economic data. We haven't had much. That all changes tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, my favorite play, Blaze, is to wait for blue chips to drop on earnings. Like, there's a lot of reasons. Like, I'll wait for blue chip stocks to drop on earnings. I'll wait for them to drop after inflation data, economic reports causing overreactions. And if I can get a big pullback, I will buy that up very often. And that works really, really well. I've done this a lot. Again, the last couple months, I've done this a lot. I did it on Airbnb. I'm green. I did it on Alibaba. I'm green. I did it on Chewy. I'm green. I did it on Salesforce. I'm green. I did it on CVS. I'm green. I did it on Home Depot. Probably one of my best trades. Home Depot. We bought Home Depot a couple days ago and rode the bounce back very nicely. Rode that up. We are up a good bit on Home Depot. We'll see what we open like though today. We did this on Roblox. We're green on Roblox. We did this on Intel. We're red on Intel. So Intel's the one that we're red on. We're actually technically green, but we actually covered a position, so we would be red. We're technically green on Intel, though. We did this on, what else we do this on? Netflix. We did this on Netflix. We're green. We did it on Snapchat. We're green. Target. We did this on Target. We're green. Tyson Foods, Unity, Uber. We're green. Except for, we're not green on Unity, though. But yeah, we do this a lot. It works really well. You know, of course, a lot of that is dependent on the market itself, like what the market will do. You know, the market is what influences this. And so, but the good news is like the big edge, most of the time blue chip stocks are going to go up. And so time heals a lot of wounds in markets. And so if you sit on these long enough, the edge is in your favor. And so if you can get really cheap, like big pullbacks for these stocks, and then have enough freedom in your portfolio to be able to sit on them long enough, I think there's a big edge in doing that. It's similar. It's kind of a mix between swing trading and investing. I'm in GameStop. I'm in AMC. CPI comes out tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. 8:30 Eastern Standard. Alright guys, so we are here. Let me get this ready. Yeah, we got Nvidia stock that we're watching. We are up here. We're in another funded account program here. You can see we're up about 1,500, but I'm trying to look to play the range. I actually like it much better when it's dark in here. I'm like a vampire. I just prefer it to be dark. Uh-oh, my quant tower just went out, dude. What does that mean? My quant tower just cut. What? Rhythmic disconnected. Hmm. All right, guys. What else do we have? All right. Yeah, dude, my Rhythmic just went out, and I don't think I can log back in. Anybody else? I'm gonna try canceling it and logging back in, but my Rhythmic just cut. Yeah, I'm gonna exit out of Rhythmic and see if that helps. Weird. Yeah, there's been a lot of issues on software. Trade Evade's been a little bit better, but yeah, Rhythmic. Yeah. I'm trying to set back Rhythmic up, but who knows if it'll let me. I can always do Ninja Trader, but I don't know how well. Alright, so it looks like everybody's Rhythmic just cut out. Dang, dude. If I'm these prop firms, I'm gonna get a different platform besides Rhythmic. You know, because Rhythmic. Alright, so Rhythmic's just not working well. Yeah, I'm checking. So it looks like Rhythmic accounts are down. It's not even letting me log in. Again, dude, this is the multiple days in a row. Ninja's out too. Okay, gotcha. CPI's tomorrow. I'm gonna turn the lights off. I like it dark. Yeah, so most of these Rhythmic issues, I talked to my Connect earlier. Most of these are because Rhythmic did an update, and that messed up their whole platform, right? And so the trade evade issues occurred because everybody had to stop using Rhythmic, and go to Trade Evade, right? So the influx of users going from Rhythmic to Trade Evade hurt Trade Evade as well. That's why we've had multiple problems. This is all stemming from one Rhythmic. This is all stemming from one Rhythmic account that did it, basically. Or this is all stemming from an update that Rhythmic did universally, from my understanding. I wish there was like a, yeah, Rhythmic is down. Trading system connection failed. Yeah, this is the glitch it's giving me on Rhythmic. Trading system connection login failed. GameStop bouncing back up, so it looks like I'm trading on Tradeovate today. We got multiple funded accounts on Tradeovate. That sucks too. I was up really nicely in my position as well. I think I would have been very green. We are moving up some here. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm kind of checking around. Tradeawate's not bad. They're all something that you can use. And if it were me, I'd wait for like a little while before I started trading too heavily in either one of these. Okay, so look, so if it makes you feel better, I have tested this on both Top Step and Apex. So Rhythmic is down universally. Okay, this is not just specific to Apex or just specific to Top Step. This is Rhythmic is down universally with all of them. So Rhythmic in general has been having a lot of problems lately. It's not just Apex, this is all of them. Again, I tried logging in to my Top Step one, it didn't work. I tried logging into my Apex Rhythmic account, it didn't work. It both said the same thing, which is P&L connection login failed, whatever that means. So that's the issue it's given us. This is everywhere. Sorry to, again, that's nothing that Apex or anybody can do. This has nothing to do with them. This has to do with an independent platform software. I think it's probably time to figure something else out outside of Rhythmic, though, for them. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, Bow, like I said, this is both of them. So on Top Step, Rhythmic isn't working, and on Apex, Rhythmic isn't working. So it's on both of them. Look, same. It's the same thing on both of them. It says the same thing on both of them. So here's the E-mini. Put up the NASDAQ. I'll probably short, I guess, but again, this is a challenge account. We switched from our other one to a challenge account. My way to get funded is most of the time just taking one big swing and see if we can hit it. I will add to my positions, like, you know, I think when you're trying to get funded, I think it's the time to trade kind of like we were talking about earlier, keep adding to it until it works, scaling in. But I think once you're funded, that's not allowed, so you just have to be smart and avoid doing that if you're not funded. Or avoid doing that once you're funded, because that will cause you to not be able to get payouts. Alright, so we're just gonna swing for the fences here. We got 10 contracts. I just hope we don't keep getting stuck in choppy action. GameStop flat. Nvidia very flat, choppy. Again, we'll probably attack choppy behavior on our equities positions too. There we go. All right, we took 20% of the position off. Took a little bit more, so we got 6 contracts here. We'll add back to it if we get some good. Nvidia is so flat. Look at the range on Nvidia here, guys. Look at this. It's such a flat range. I don't even know what to do with this. Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the South, so we call it Coke. Coca-Cola. Soda. Whatever. We call it a lot of different things. Cold drink. We'll call it a cold drink. All right, we got a little cushion here. Again, we're just kind of sitting around. There's no economic data today. It's pretty boring. The rest of this week is very busy, but today is kind of boring, slow. Not a lot going on. Friday, we also have consumer sentiment. I guess University of Michigan sentiment. All right, we went ahead and added max size. The reason I did this is because we broke down multiple times to this support level, and so I'm confident. There we go. So we're up around 500. We got 5 contracts though. I do have some ad spots to this. It's just hard to make big money on these challenge accounts whenever we don't have any volatility. Look how slow the market is right now, Chad. It's just boring. There's just not a lot going on. Alright, so now we're gonna add right back to this, and then if we lose, it's alright. Like we're still flat on the day, so we can add into this. We're kind of middle range, so we'll play around with it and take our risks. All right, we're still green on the day. But again, it's hard to make money when the range of everything is so flat leading into this report. Again, we're gonna take a system of like with our real accounts, shorting at the top of the range, buying at the bottom, looking to attack this type of behavior today is what we're gonna look for. I think that's the biggest edge you have on days like today where it's boring and slow. Do you think rate cuts will hurt the market? I think rate cuts will hurt the economy. Yeah, so I think rate cuts will hurt the economy. All right, so again, we are down today. This is a challenge account that we're just playing with that we've got sitting here. All right, so we are pulling back a little bit. I'm just going to let this run. What I'm watching right now is Nvidia. Nvidia is sitting right over the VWAP level or right around the VWAP level. So we're watching this closely. Bad Boys Ride or Die overperforms and earns 104 million in the box office. That's good for theaters. CPI is tomorrow at 8:30. It's not today. It's tomorrow. Yeah, Quant Tower Rhythmic is down. Again, this is a challenge account on screen. So again, we're just kind of in our real account. We're down a little bit today, but we're up thousands on it. So if we lose this, it'll be okay. The problem is Nvidia spiking up some. And so that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm watching is Nvidia. I think I'm down too much. Or no, I think that's it. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Yep. All right. Well, I guess we'll switch to our real account, but I'm going to trade micro contracts right now. I just don't trust it. Hey, thanks for the donation, Darren. We're not waiting on any reports today. Today's, in fact, very slow. The market's slow right now. You know, the market is boring. Nvidia's back up. So again, there's nothing really going on right now. Is the thing. There's Nvidia. There's GameStop. We'll trade, but I don't think I'm going to trade for very long, if I'm being honest. Why gold is going up today? There's no important data today because gold doesn't always need data to go up. It probably has to do with gold has to do with economics. It has to do with a lot of different things. But I'm not sure why it's going up today. Chat, why is gold going up today? Do you guys know? Yeah, Rhythmic's not working. It's out. Across the board for me. Everywhere I look, it's out. Ten-year yield. Yeah, it could be the 10-year. The 10-year is at 4.47% right now. Let me see. 4.47. Yeah, so the 10 years at 4.4. That might be why. I'm not sure. Oh, wait. Okay, so I'm pretty sure Rhythmic is working again now. I'm trying to log in on both platforms, and I'm pretty sure it's working again, but I'm not 100% sure. So bear with me. Yeah, so okay, so Rhythmic is now back up. All right, so Apex is now back up with Rhythmic. I would be careful. They're back up with both platforms. So Rhythmic is back up. I would be careful, though. Today with these issues, I would be careful, but on my end, it's back up. Yeah. I mean, my Quant Tower's working. Here's Quant Tower on Rhythmic. So mine's working so far, I think. I think it automatically cut the trade for me too. Yeah, so it cut the trade. That's good at least. So it kept the profit. But yeah, it looks like Rhythmic is updated. Yeah, mine's back too. So it's only a limited amount of time. It looks like they got the issues figured out. All right, guys, there's GameStop coming back down. Nvidia did spike up, though. So, again, we'll look to trade. I'm going to look to attack choppiness today is what I'm going to look to attack. Here's the Q. Just got to wait for choppiness to occur. Yeah, I've been using Trade-Evade a lot more. I used to be a Rhythmic guy too, but with all the issues on both platforms lately and on both Apex and Top Stack Rhythmic accounts, I switched to Trade-Evade. Haven't had many issues there lately. Yeah, I'm on TOS right now. TOS is fine for me. Look at Nvidia spike, guys. So Nvidia trying to go green on the day. Let's see if it does. All right, Intel announces the launch of its new Olea US or U310 system on chip SoC. I don't know what that means. But I'm in Intel. Hopefully it made it go up. Not really, but that's okay. Yeah, so Rhythmic's back on both platforms. All right, guys, we got 12 minutes now. It's a very boring day. We just don't have much going on, and that's all right. Tomorrow we'll have thousands and thousands of people here. You know, tomorrow we'll get almost 100,000 views. Yeah, I would be careful trading on Rhythmic right now for sure. I would be very careful. So just be smart, guys. Yeah, so now there's software that will allow your AI self to appear in meetings. All right, Nvidia is still testing these highs without you actually being there. Are y'all down on toss? I haven't tried pricing trades, but is y'all's toss down? All right, so again, here's another Apex account. See, we're up about $1,000. Beautiful. We finally got this breakdown that we were looking for this whole time. Yeah, we're gonna go and cover. So we're up $1,000 here. We're a third of the way there. Is Toss and Schwab still down for you? Yeah, let me see. Yeah, a lot of people are reporting toss issues. Mine's still working fine. But today's a weird day, dude. We got a lot of stuff down for a lot of people. Yeah, what a weird time, man. Yeah, there's issues with platforms like software, like data feeds are what the problem stems from, it looks like. So there's some type of problem in data feeds. I'm checking on all the different platforms now. TD Ameritrade's having problems. Charles Schwab's having problems. Thinkorswim's having problems. Rhythmic is having problems. A lot of data processors are where the issues are. Interesting. Yeah, y'all just be careful today, to be honest. Y'all just be careful. I haven't tried. I'm going to try to take a trade on Toss real quick. Let's see if it works. Okay, mine works. I mean, so far at least. Nvidia spike it up. Yeah, I mean, this isn't Apex's fault. Again, I tried logging into Top Step, it was the same things. I tried logging into Apex, it was the same things. People are saying Toss is down, and so this is just platform issues. Probably has to do with data. I'm assuming this has to do with data problems, right? Like data problems getting the feeds for people. Yeah, so even Fidelity just got a spike, and like, look. So here's Fidelity. I'm looking at down detector. Here's Fidelity just now. So Fidelity is, having problems too. Just a lot of issues, all the way around here with platforms. TD Ameritrade, Schwab, Fidelity, they're all having issues. On the 16th, Ron, is probably when they do it. So, but I'm not 100% sure. Again, we're going to throw it in sub-only mode, so if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it. Something we forgot to do yesterday. We're getting pretty close. We got about 6 minutes until the opening bell, chat. All right, so Nvidia ripped and now it's pulling back. What else we got? Yeah, Robinhood I never. Yeah, I mean you could get rid of stuff on the page, Detra on Mumu. All right, Nvidia is still slightly green on the day, slightly green. We'll see what. Man, there's so many fake text messages now. Like, people use fake text message stories to just create content now. All right, chat. Again, Nvidia is sitting slightly green on the day. Now it's slightly red. We're going to try to day trade here. All right, guys, we got 1 minute here. Chat, 1 minute. Tomorrow is FOMC. I'm going to look to a choppy range. What's the difference between the E-mini and the SPY? The SPY is on the stock market. It's an ETF exchange traded fund listed on the stock market. But what the SPY tracks is the S&P 500 futures contract. So what the SPY tracks is the E-mini S&P 500 in futures. So the SPY tracks the E-mini S&P. So the SPY track and it's the same thing with the Q and the Nasdaq, right? What the QQQ tracks is this right here, is the Nasdaq 100 futures contract. So basically, the SPY tracks the S&P 500 futures contract, which tracks the S&P 500 futures, or which tracks the S&P 500. What the QQQ tracks is the Nasdaq 100 futures contract, right? So they're similar price action, different price. The Q is cheaper than the Nasdaq 100, but if you try to day trade the Q, you're gonna need 25K in a margin account. Same thing with the SPY, right? Where if you want to trade futures, you could do so when there's no PDT rule in futures. You could day trade, all that good stuff. All right, guys, here we go. Here's the market open. Ding, ding, ding. Here's the opening bell. Let's see what happens. GameStop spiked a little bit. It's at 2440s. Nvidia is what we're watching today. It's slightly green on the day, slightly green. We're watching bonds here, watching AMC. Watching Nvidia here. We got 5 contracts here in futures. 4, 6. Again, that opening range is usually pretty choppy, so we're going to take a little risk here and then see what we get. If we lose this, again, this is a challenge account. There we go. All right, so we just took half off. We're up about... There we go. We're up about halfway there. There we go. There we go. We're about 2/3 of the way there. We're up about $2,000 or so on this account. Yeah, Thinkorswim's down to a lot of people. For me, it's not down, but for a lot of people, it is. Nvidia's falling. Yeah, so this is Apex, a funded account program on Apex. They give you a demo. They test your skill with a demo account. If you can pass the test with a demo, they fund you the same amount. They are a sponsor of mine. I'm biased. They pay me money, so of course I'm biased. You can see the understand CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, all that good stuff. Do not copy me. I'm not an investment professional. I do trade off stream. You're not going to see all my trades. I'm not even claiming to be a good trader. But again, if you want to try this in futures, they give you a demo and they test your skill with a demo account. If you pass the test, they fund you the same amount. The base one's $25K. If you pass it, you get $25K in funding. If you fail it, you're out like $25. You can get this all the way up to $250K right now, or all the way up to $300K. But for the time being, you can get the $250K challenge for only about $18 after tax. So it's very cheap for the $250K challenge right now. There's no PDT in futures, which you're essentially day trading is... Here, hold on. What you're essentially day trading is index funds filled with stocks. You can't trade individual stocks directly, but you can trade the S&P, the NASDAQ. Patterns are very similar to blue chip stocks. There's just no PDT rule in futures. All right, so we just took half off. We're scalping this here. There we go. All right, so we are up about $2 grand. Hey, thanks, Darren. I appreciate the donations. I don't know how to connect an Apex account to a copier. I don't really use a copier, to be honest. All right, so we're shorting this. We're at the top of the range. We got 4 contracts. We need about $1,000 to get funded here on this one. Losing, given all the gains back we made. Just a huge rip. I'm not sure what caused this rip. Ugh. So we just lost the account like that. Maybe taking too big of size. We were so close. We got 2/3 of the way there. I mean, again, we just lost $20, so it's not the end of the world. But definitely, you don't love to see it, chat. You don't love to see it. What a rip in markets, chat. What a rip. It's okay. Listen, that's how it goes. Yeah, Rhythmic is down too. So we're just gonna trade our regular funded account with smaller size is what we're gonna do now. We tried to get funded on a couple challenge accounts that we have, but yeah, we're just gonna trade our regular funded account. So here's a 50K funded account, but it's not my one with 3,000 in profit. This is a different funded account that we're trading on right now. So again, I'm gonna switch to the micro NASDAQs. Yeah, is it Apple? I'm in Apple right now. Hey, look at Apple. It is Apple. Apple's helping the rest of the market too, to be honest. I'm gonna take a little bit more profit at Home Depot. There we go, just lock it in, protect this. Let's see if Apple can hold. See, again, I'm looking to attack choppiness, so we're gonna take a couple short positions here. See if we can fill that gap down. We'll add a little bit more. 3 contracts. Take half off there. See, this is an actual funded account, and you can kind of see how different I trade on this versus my real account. We're trading much smaller, much less risk, in a much safer way. So once you're funded, I wouldn't recommend trading like I was trading earlier. All right, there's 3 contracts. There we go. We'll take a little bit more off there. Take a little bit more off. All right, so we're about 20 bucks here on our funded account. We're just trying to buy small account profits, build up small cushions. Apple is flying up right now, though, so I'm going to buy this dip. See if we can ride the breakout here. There we go. Take half off. All right, so we're up about 40 bucks on this funded account in about 5 minutes. Not too bad. We'll see if we can continue that. I don't know if TOS is still down. I'm pretty sure I can still trade on TOS. Yeah, I mean, I sold some Home Depot earlier, so I can still trade on TOS. Can y'all not hear the music today? I don't know if y'all could hear it before. Okay. All right, Nvidia shooting up too. Look at GameStop dump though. GameStop at 23s. Can I have multiple of the same funded account? Can I pay for 2 or 3 of the same funded account, or can I only have 1? No, you can have up to 20, I'm pretty sure, Darren. Thanks for the donation again, brother. But yeah, you can have up to 20 funded accounts, I'm pretty sure. All right, again, we're going to start shorting here. Betting against the strength that we're seeing here. Gonna add some more. We got 4 contracts. Take a little piece of that off. Grind this down. There we go. So we're up $60 on the day now. Again, you can kind of see the P&L right here. And again, you can kind of see how different I trade on a funded account like this. This is a funded account versus a challenge account where I'm just kind of throwing size into it and just letting it sit. Again, I've got a bunch of accounts that I don't use, and so you'll see me play with them from time to time, maybe get eliminated, but when I trade my funded accounts, it's different. All right, guys. Did my music stop? There we go. All right, now we're turning all the way back down. Again, we're coming right back down. We thought we would get choppy behavior today, and that's kind of what we're getting. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and close it down. I just don't think today's a good day for trading altogether. I think there's a lot of issues with a lot of different platforms. Again, we're going to buy this dip. Hold on. We're going to take 2 contracts here. That's it. But again, while we're doing this, if you haven't already, check out Chart Prime. Chart Prime is a trading view service that you can use in stocks, crypto, forex, futures, anything with a symbol on TradingView you can use them on. And again, they're just powerful. Like, look, I always try to show you guys some examples of them live. This is Chart Prime and their software here. I got to watch this trade, but this is Chart Prime and their software. Just back test the strong signals. Back test the strong signals. Genuinely impressive. And you can use them for a lot of different ways. A lot of different ways. Hold on, let me... All right, so we're out. But again, just look at this. Look at the strong signals. Like, I can't fake this. Nobody can. I can't guarantee it's going to work. Nobody can. But like, look at this, right? So strong signal right here. Follow through. Beautiful. This is a 5-minute chart. So this is probably like an hour plus of follow through. Look at the sell signal here. Hour plus of drops. Strong buy signal here. Nice little rip. Strong sell signal way up here. Follow through of a huge breakdown here. And again, let's keep going back. So all of these work so far. Strong buy signal showed up right here. Nice breakout for the next 2-3 hours. Strong sell signal, you got a nice drop. This one was probably wrong. So that's one that didn't work. Where did I start this? Okay, I started it right there. That's one that didn't work. This one definitely worked. Hours of breakdowns. This one definitely worked. Hours of rip-ups. This one worked. You got a nice little flush. This one worked. Breakout. This one didn't work. That's 2. Strong signal here worked. This one didn't work. That's 3. This one didn't work. That's 4. This one didn't work. That's 5. All right, and I'm just trying to be honest. Strong signal showed up there. That worked. Sell signal showed up there. That worked. Strong signal showed up there. That worked. So that's 5. But this was a lot of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 5 out of 19, roughly 75% accuracy on these. And again, honestly, most of the time that I find it, it's a little bit better than that, right? So like, here's a better example. Here's a better example. Look, strong signal follow through, sell signal drop, strong signal follow through. This one didn't work. Sell signal or strong signal worked. This one worked. Look at this one. Strong signal literally called the bottom. Huge follow through. And so there's so much stuff that you can use. There's oscillators, back testers, screeners. It's like $40 a month, and you can use it with anything with a symbol on TradingView. Anything with a symbol on TradingView, you can use it. I use it a lot with my funded account programs. If you want to check them out, I'll put this link up. Great way to help support the channel. I can't guarantee you're going to make money. Again, they're a sponsor of mine, so of course I'm biased in their favor. But again, you can get 40% off if you use my link. There it is in chat. Check it out. With that said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Today's just probably not my day to trade. We are getting choppy behavior like I thought we would. So we are getting sideways, neutral, choppy behavior, and that's helped me end green on a lot of different stuff. But outside of that, it's just not the day-to-day trade, guys. So I'm going to get out of here. Y'all be good. Love you all. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, guys, at 8:30, we are going to have thousands over. I'm going to put it out there. We're going to have over 5,000 people here live at 8:30 tomorrow morning, Eastern time. So be ready. Be ready. At the FOMC meeting, we're going to have 6,000+ people here live watching the stream. Be here tomorrow. The reason we get thousands show up is because we cover data quickly when it drops. Be here. We'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Have a great day, chat.